Muchas gracias, everyone. My name is Margie Alonsagay, your reporter for today's discussion. I will give an overview to the topic entitled The Question of Women and Emancipation. So, when we say emancipation, it is the freedom of the women to gain access or control to all forms of resources in the nation. So, it is the inclusion of women empowerment and exclusion of the view that women is low class while men is much more higher class. So let's tackle about feminist ethics. Feminist ethics is an approach to ethics that builds on the belief that traditionally ethical theorizing has undervalued and or underappreciated women's moral experience, which is largely male dominated, and it therefore chooses to reimagine ethics through a holistic feminist approach to transform it. So it is about the belief or the traditional social rule of women. So for further explanation, because the traditional social rule of the women in the society is that women is the lady of the house, taking care of the family, especially cooking and also taking care of the child, to iron the clothes and etc. So male is much more dominated than women. So that is why women is considered servant or just the lady of the house. So they are underestimating women's capability to rule, especially in politics. So they are undervalued and unappreciated. So that view should be changed because not what they think of women is actually it is, because women is more capable on what they think. So equality and discrimination. So the aim of feminism is to ensure equal rights as well as opportunities for women. Just like it is with men, while gender equality is about getting equal rights and opportunities for all genders. So something like men and women should be treated equal despite of the gender. If man can do, then women can do it too. So the best example of it are the two empowered women who rule the country. So because of equality, they can be able to run in the politics. Because before is that women is prohibited to go to politics. But because of people now are open-minded, so they are can run for politics. Another is gender discrimination, is unequal or disadvantageous treatment of an individual or group of individuals based on gender. So it is about that the reason for such an abuse is that women is not considered as valuable as men. So women is neglected or abused without remorse. So one of the discrimination experienced by women is that the lack of women of position of power. Okay, given the fact that there is an equality in politics, but still there is a discrimination inside of it that if you're a girl and you run for politics, so they say that you are weak. But if your rivalry is a man, so there is a bigger possibility that your rival or your opposition will win because he's much more stronger, so he's capable to rule the country. That violence against women. So women is considered as weak, so they are prone for rape or another assault. Another the discrimination happen for women is that women today are defined by how their bodies are shaped according to how media have determined their desirability. So it is indeed that if you have a negative body image or you didn't pasok sa standard, so like something like you don't have a bigger boobs, a big ass, and petite body, so surely you will be discriminated because women is desirable if you have a fit body. So how we can work toward emancipation? First, of course, is to protect the rights of women. As women rightly remind us, women's rights are human's rights. So there is women's right is about VAWA, or I don't know how to, basta VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. So it is an act that protects the rights of women from assault, from rape, or any violence, because they have the right to life, the right to the means of survival, the right to education, the right and everything. So best example is that In some countries, women are kept from getting any kind of education. So women are prohibited to go to school because of certain cultural beliefs that take on the form of religious dogma. Because they believe that women is just in the house and they should not go to school. So this puts women at a great disadvantage because they deprive of the capacity to creativity. So they are became literate or uneducated. So we all know that education is the key to success. If you're prohibited about it, so kawawa ka talaga. So, however, in today's society, this different gender are can be able to go to school. So it is mandated that everyone should be educated, unlike before. So let's move further. So biomedical ethics. Biomedical ethics is an applied branch of ethics which analyzes the practice of clinical medicine and related scientific research. Medical ethics is based on a set of values that professionals can refer to in a case of any confusion or conflict. These values include the respect for autonomy, non-maleficence, beneficence, and justice. So, let's break down the words. Bio means life. Medical is the clinical medicine for the practice, and ethics is about a professional or the moral principles by healthcare which a doctor or a nurse must conduct. So, ethics of prenatal personhood. So, when does personhood begin or when does life begin? So, life begin at the moment of conception, which is the fertilization of egg and which is the, what do you call it, ang pagpangala in Bisaya. So, and also for being pregnant or ang pagbubuntis. So, in ethics of prenatal personhood, abortion is banned with no exception. So, we are living in our country, right? So, Philippines. So, bawal ang abortion sa Pilipinas because it is a devil's act. So, it is said that with no exception. So, kahit na you were harassed or raped, you should not kill that baby because that baby is innocent. Ectopic pregnancy and the principle of double effect. An ectopic pregnancy occurs when a fertilized egg implants and grows outside the main cavity. Sorry. An ectopic pregnancy most often occurs in a fallopian tube. So, when man and women, wait lang. So, ectopic pregnancy is very dangerous. So, when man and women contact each other, they make a baby, right? So, there's a fertilized egg. So, what happened if that fertilized egg didn't arrive where it's supposed to go? Or stuck lang siya in the fallopian tube? So, instead of the baby will grow in ovary or bahay bata of a woman's womb, so it is stuck in fallopian tube. So there is a bigger possibility that if not treated away, that fetus will grow. So meaning that there's no big room inside that tube. This is what we call tubular pregnancy. So it can cause harmful effect to the mother and to the child. So can cause internal bleeding or worse, sasabog yung fallopian tube ng mother. So, seeing the fallopian tube as a pathology allows for the principle of double effect. So, this is where ethics came to the picture, which is a double effect since the health of the mother and health of the baby. So, the principle states that an action providing serious harm, killing the embryo, is permissible as an intended consequence if it brings about a good result. So about saving the woman's life. So keep in your mind that you should ban abortion, right, with no exception. So this is you should think deeper. So it is the female reproductive system. For further explanation, so that too there is that fallopian tube. So is a small tube, right? So imposible nga mukuan ang bata dira ang apart. dapat sa tiyan man jud dapat. So I have a question. If you would choose, would you rather save the baby or the mother? Since there is a double effect, right? So if you choose to save the fetus, is it morally right to save him, even though it can cause harmful effects to the mother? If you would choose the mother, is it morally right or morally wrong to abort the baby? So I will give you time to answer the given question. So the best answer of this is that you should choose the mother, and it is morally right to kill the baby or to abort the baby. Since, like, would you trade your life to a fetus that sa ang pagplaster pa lang sa iyaha sa mama is wrong. So there's no visibility that that baby will survive because he lived in the tube and not in the woman's womb. So for the couple is that maybe they should try more harder, and in that time the family or the God provide the desire of their heart. So in a safest kind of pregnancy. So it is morally right to kill that baby since it can save the life of the woman. Okay, let's move further. Childbearing enhancement, self-improvement, and general well-being. So childbearing enhancement is the application in the field of medicine have put forward wonders in the area of enhancement of human beings. Those who had difficulty in having children can have a child. So it is the solution for those couple that can have a child. So for example, one of the couple have deficiency in making a baby or parang baog, something anak. So if the father is healthy, then he can inject his sperm to the what we call the surrogate mother. So in a kind of vitro fertilization. So it is a scientific way of conceiving a child. So there's no physical contact or intercourse between the two people. Another is personal improvements such as the intake of glutathione for aesthetic improvements can hardly be branded as evil or bad. Aesthetics warn of the objectification that is peddled by such self-actualization product. So there's nothing wrong about improving yourself. So if you want to have a glutathione for clear skin or if you want to have a pointed nose, then there's no big deal about that. It is not morally wrong to improve yourself since wala ka namang tinatapakang tao. So it's your money and it's your choice and it's your decision. So for your general well-being, so it is about your own good. That's all. So extraordinary means euthanasia and the significance of living will. So extraordinary means is that the unusual. It can be good or bad. Euthanasia is the practice of intentionally ending life to relieve pain and suffering. So different countries have different euthanasia laws. So euthanasia is about mercy killing. So the Philippines is against about mercy killing because, as I've said, it is a devil's act. So euthanasia is about, for instance, there is a nurse and a patient. The patient said that she wanted to end his life. So the nurse decided to end the life of the patient by giving injection. However, someone witnessed that the nurse killed the person, even though the person wanted to be killed, just to end her suffering. So because in the Philippines, euthanasia is against, so that woman is napriso siya kay it is wrong to kill someone's life. So another is that the concept of living will is relatively new in medical standards. It is a legal document that allows patients to record their wishes for treatment at the end of their life if they are not able to speak for themselves anymore. It gives patients the opportunity to be part of the decision-making process. So about a living will. So it is written before you died. So buhay ka pa nung sinulat yon. So is that the concept of living will. So, buhay ka pa noon yung sinulat yung living will. So, it is stated that your will or your wishes, dahil kapag you will die, there is a decision that is said that, for example, you're a rich haciendero, and your daughter or husband or anything of your family, you will take part of your wealthy or kayamanan. So, sabi doon na hati-hatian nila yung kayamanan mo. So, even though you are so there is a record that stated what's your point. For the patients is that, for example, he said that he know that he will be coming in a comatose. So he stated in his living will is that after 20 days, if hindi pa siya mabubuhay, it is okay that patayin na siya or patayin na yung nagpapabuhay sa kanya or receptor. And if it is stated there also that kung gusto niyang ibigay yung organ niya or something like yung mata niya, then the family had no choice but to give it because it is the living will of the patients. So, that's all for my report, and thank you.